So hello everyone, welcome to eMobility System Lab. I hope you all are doing great. In today's session, we are going to learn one of the most important concept in C programming, that is structure. So have you ever wondered how we can store a different type of data like student name, roll number, marks together? So this session is exactly for you. Okay. So in this class, we will cover what is a structure, and we will also see syntax of the structure. We will talk about the declaration, we will talk about the initialization, how you can access the elements or members of the structure, and what is the difference between a structure and array, what are the difference between a structure and union, and we will talk about the advantage of and disadvantage of the structure and application of the structure. So basically, in the last but it is not the least, okay, so we will discuss about the interview questions and and key takeaways. Okay, so let's get started, and this class is going to be very useful for you guys. So basically, this is the fundamental class. This is not the practical programming class, but in the next class we will talk about the practical programming based on the structure. Okay, so move on to the slide now. So here you are able to see the structure, a different type of things related to the structure basically. So firstly, we will see what is a structure. So basically, a structure is a user defined data type, and that allows you to group variables of different data type under one name. Okay, so this you need to remember. This definition is very much asked in the interviews actually. So you can store in a structure, you can store or you can group the variables of different data types. Here you are able to see different type of variables like name, roll number, and marks. And here you are able to see the data types of different variables. Okay, so the data type of different variables would be different, and we are grouping all these variables under one name, that is student. Okay, and before student we are using a keyword. This is the keyword actually. So when we talk about the structure, don't forget to use this keyword, otherwise your structure is not complete. Okay, so how, with this example, you can understand how to group the variables of different data type. So this is the syntax. First of all, you need to write a keyword, then is a single variable name. Okay, and now you need to use the curly brackets and then semicolon. In the last of the curly brackets, you have to use the semicolon. Okay, so but here you are able to see this information is related to this student. Okay, and now we will talk about the syntax. So basically, when you start writing any program on the structure or any of the topic of the C programming, you don't forget about the syntax of anything. So we will talk about the syntax of the structure. So here you are able to see the syntax of the structure, how you can write the structure, how you can make the syntax. First of, before writing the code, you need to create one syntax. If you are not remembering the syntax, then you can definitely make some mistakes. Okay, so here we are using keyword and structure name and then members. Okay, so here you are able to see the members of different data types. So this is the member 1, this is the member 2, and before members you need to use a data type. Okay, so member can be basically members are the variables. Okay, so these variables can be of different data type. It may be integer, it may be float, it may be character type, whatever, but you need to write a structure like this. And there are two important things in the structure basically. One is declaration, another is initialization. Okay, so how you can declare the structure? So like this you can declare the structure. Okay, and initialization is basically you would put some information related to that student. Okay, so suppose the student name is Ajay, and the or roll number of that student is 101, and marks of that particular student are is 95.5 marks. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are storing the information related to that particular structure name. Okay, now you want to access this information, you want to see that information on the console, on the black screen. So how you can, so you have to use the dot operator. Okay, and you have to write the things in the printf function, inside the printf. Okay, so suppose you want to access this name, so this is basically a string. So for this you are using percentage s. Percentage s is an identifier. Okay, so this is an identifier which is used for displaying the string. And here now you want to access this information, that is a roll number. So you need to understand what type of this, type of data it is. So it is integer type. So here you can check now, it is an integer type of data. So for the integer type of data, we would use percentage d identifier. And suppose, and now this is the floating type data, so you will use this identifier percentage dot 2f. Okay, and you will use the dot operator like this. After dot operator you will write the variable name. So in this way you can see the output which is stored in that particular variables. Okay, and we have we have also other way to access the individual members basically through the dot operator, so that you can do like this. Okay, so on this way, like on this thing, we will see the practical programming. Okay, but in that way we will do in the next class, not in this class. The target of this class is to complete the fundamentals. Okay, so what is the difference between a structure and array? So this is very important question which is highly asked in the interview. Okay, so basically array and structures both are storing the multiple data. Okay, what is the difference between both? Can structure or array are the same? No, structure and arrays are the different thing. Okay, even the syntax of both is different, and the properties are also different. So the arrays store the element of same data type, but in structure you are storing the elements of different data type. In array you can access the elements through indexing, but in structure you can access the elements through dot operator. So these are the difference between a structure and array. Okay, number first difference: in array all elements are of same data type, but in structure the elements are of different data type. Okay, indexing cannot be applied in a structure, but in arrays indexing can be applied. And now we will see one of the most important thing which is also highly asked in interview. What is the difference between structure and union? So people get confused because the structure, the syntax of the structure and union is same actually. Okay, but what is the difference? So when we talk about structure, the element of structure is stored in a separate memory. So there is a separate memory for each member in the structure, but in union there is a shared memory. Okay, for all the members of the union. So that is the main difference that is related to the memory. Okay, so in union there is a shared memory. Always remember there is a shared memory for all the members. Okay, but in structure the memory is separate for each member. Only one member is valid in union at a time. Okay, now we will see the advantage of the structures. Okay, so first advantage: groups related data together. So what is the meaning of this? A structure allows you to combine different data type such as integer, float, character into a single unit. Okay, and second, improve code organization. Okay, so related information is stored in one place, making the program easier to read and maintain. So this is another big advantage of the structure. Structure support different data type. Unlike array, structure can store a variable of different data type in the same record. And third advantage is to pass complex data. Okay, so you can pass an entire structure to a function instead of passing multiple variables individually. So these are big advantages of the structure. Okay, Now we will see the disadvantage. Okay, so basically when we talk about the structure, as all the members are taking the different memory locations, so you need more memory. Okay, so slightly more memory required than union. And direct arithmetic operation not allowed on the whole structure. You cannot apply the arithmetic operations like multiplication, additions on the complete structure. Okay. When we talk about the nested structure, so we will also see what is the nested structure. So basically nested structure means structure inside the structure, that on the based of a nested structure we will do some programming also. Okay, but here it can become more complex when it comes to the nested structure. Okay, so these are the disadvantage. Taking more memory, direct arithmetic operations cannot be applied on the complete structure, and it structure can become more complex with a nested structure. And now we will see the applications. So basically structures are used for student management, employee database, banking systems, inventory management, hospital management, embedded systems, and many more. So basically, e-mobility system lab is focusing on the embedded related things. So we will see the embedded related application based on the structure in the upcoming classes. Okay, and in the right side, you are able to see some interview questions. So guys, practice these questions. You can note down in your notebook. So first question: what is a structure? Which operator is used to access the structure member? So here that is the dot operator. And which operator is used with a structure pointer? So this is okay. So we will see the how we can use the pointer with the structure, and with the help of pointer we can also access the elements of the structure. And then with the help of this operator, can a structure contain another structure? Yes. If structure contain another structure, that is called the nested structure. Can we create array of structure? Yes. Different difference between structure and union, we have discussed about a lot about between what is the difference between structure and union. So here basically separate memory for the different variables in the structure, but in union there is a shared memory. And we also discussed about the structure, difference between structure and array, and what are the advantage of a structure, disadvantage of a structure, the application of a structure. And now we will move on the another slide. Okay. Okay, so this is the same, I think. So what are the key takeaways from this class? Structures are user defined data type. They group different data type in a single unit. Members of the structure can be accessed through dot operator. Structure pointers use arrow operator, and structures are widely used in a real world applications. Okay. So thank you guys for watching this class. Today we learned about a lot of things related to the structure. Okay. And I hope this session would help you a lot in understanding of the structure, and practice the program yourself, because the programming is a skill that improves with hands-on coding. In the next class we will continue with another important topic in C program. Basically that is basically we will do practice on the structure based programming related questions. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll do like and subscribe the channel for more update related to the C programming, related to the embedded systems, and electrical vehicle related. So initially, firstly we are talking about the coding related things, then we will move on to the Python, and we will talk about the electrical vehicle, EV charging systems, and electrical vehicle architecture, and everything.